Guys, quick question. Would you advise Thomas Partey to sign for Barcelona next season? Let me know your answers down below in the comments because according to The Sun, Barcelona are negotiating with Thomas Partey over a potential free transfer move in the summer. And I'm here to break down everything so you understand. But before we jump into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. You're watching SportsCornerGH. Quickly, let's jump into it. Let's start from the genesis. Thomas Partey signed for Arsenal in 2020 from Atletico de Madrid. Now, he was part of a few players Mikel Arteta signed immediately he took on the job as the coach of Arsenal. Now, his season at Arsenal has not been easy at all. Injuries upon injuries upon injuries. But anytime Thomas Partey is fit, you can see the quality. Now, let's talk about the just ended season. He played a total of 52 games for Arsenal, scoring 4 goals and giving 3 assists, accumulating 3,946 game minutes. This season, this is the best season he has had with Arsenal. Injury-free, played extremely well, impacted games for Arsenal. But one thing he did this season that got a lot of people talking is the number of positions he played for Arsenal this season. This season, he played 3 positions. He played as a DM, as a CM, and also as a right back. Now, let me tell you this. Let me break down so that you understand. Now, Thomas Partey played 35 games as a DM, scoring 2 goals and giving 2 assists. He played 14 games as a right back, scoring 2 goals and giving 1 assist. And he played 2 games as a central midfielder. So this is a player who played several positions for Arsenal in the just ended season. But upon all what he did, Arsenal delayed with his contract extension. So even fans, after seeing Thomas Partey putting in the good work, started telling the club that, see, you need to renew Thomas Partey's contract. Fans were telling the club and got to a point, the journalists started asking Mikel Arteta publicly, what are you doing about Thomas Partey's contract? Then Mikel Arteta said he wants to keep the player at the club, but it's left with Andre Berta, the sporting director of Arsenal, to do the needful, to do the necessary negotiation with Thomas Partey's camp. So some few weeks ago, we were all excited when we heard Arsenal and Thomas Partey's camp were going to begin talks. But then Thomas Partey made certain things known to Arsenal that in my contract renewal, I want A, I want B, I want C. Now, these are the things Thomas Partey demanded. A 2-year contract with an improved term or a 1 year with an option of an extra 1 year. Now, Arsenal took the demands in, they talked among themselves, and they sent a reply back to Thomas Partey's camp. So some few days ago, we heard Arsenal had verbally agreed terms with Thomas Partey's camp over a potential contract renewal or contract extension. But only for us to wait today. And we hear from The Sun that Barcelona has stepped in to talk to Thomas Partey. Now you might be wondering, how can Barcelona talk to Thomas Partey? Is he not an Arsenal player? The thing is, Thomas Partey's contract with Arsenal expires June 30th this year. We are already in June, so it's just left with some few days for Thomas Partey to be declared a free agent. But then as of now, he is free to talk to other clubs. And Barcelona want to make use of Thomas Partey's free agents situation so that they can get the player. They know age is not on his side, but then they can use him for a short-term fix. Thomas Partey is 31 years of age, so he's not a young player. He's aging. But then he's playing very, very well. And we also had with Arsenal in the just ended season, in the EPL, in the UCL, in other tournaments they participated in. Now, let's talk about the report concerning Thomas Partey and what The Sun is saying about this. Now, this is what The Sun is saying. I'm just going to bullet everything so that you can understand. Now, Barcelona sees Thomas Partey as a suitable low-cost option to bolster their midfield. And coach Hansi Flick is a big fan of the player. Next is that Thomas Partey has great respect for Arsenal and loves living in London, but also understands his value and wants a contract that reflects his true place in the club. Third point, Barcelona are not the only ones interested in Thomas Partey. There are clubs such as Atletico de Madrid who want their player back. They want him because they have not been able to replace Thomas Partey. Also, Saudi Arabian clubs have made offers to the player. They also want the player. And we have seen a lot of teams that have come out that have shown interest in Thomas Partey. So currently, the only serious club that have done something to show that they are really interested in Thomas Partey is Barcelona, because right now, as I'm speaking to you now, negotiations have begun concerning Thomas Partey moving from Arsenal and joining Barcelona. Now, would you advise the player to do that? Now, let's talk about Barcelona. Hans Flick likes the player because of, one, his experience. Thomas Partey has played in the Spanish La Liga before. Thomas Partey played with Atletico de Madrid. And during his time there, he played a total of 188 games, scoring 16 goals and giving 12 assists. I'm sure with this performance, that is what made Mikel Arteta go and pay top dollar to sign Thomas Partey for Atletico de Madrid to Arsenal. Now, Atletico de Madrid also want him. But then Hans Flick knows that the player has the experience to play in the Spanish La Liga. Looking at what Real Madrid are doing to bolster their squad, they also want to bring experience. Two, Thomas Partey could be a short-term fix for Barcelona, looking at their midfield. It's not like their midfield is bad. Now, let's take a look at Barcelona's midfield and look at the position that Thomas Partey could easily occupy. That's either the DM or the CM role. Now, Matt Bernal, who is injured, is 18 years of age. Gavi, 20 years. Pedri, 22. Frankie de Jong, 28. Marc Casado, 21. These are the midfielders for Barcelona who play in Thomas Partey's preferred position. So the big question is that if Thomas Partey goes, does he bench one of these players? Because clearly he's older than all of them. He is older than all of them. So Barcelona's situation is quite tricky. All these players are very, very good players who have played important roles for Barcelona this season. But then they want to add Thomas Partey to it. But looking at the midfield, do you think Thomas Partey stands a chance to start? I think the answer is yes. He goes to Barcelona and start ahead of some of these players. And the reason why I believe Hans Flick also likes Thomas Partey is that if they are going to Europe, they need experience. Barcelona are out of the UCL because of lack of experience. They want some experienced players at low cost. So for Thomas Partey, he might be open to the move just because, look, Barcelona is going to give him a signing-on bonus or a signing-on fee because he's coming as a free agent. It could be 8 million, it could be 10 million, it could be 7 million, and that is straight to Thomas Partey's pocket before his salary. Currently, Thomas Partey receives 10.4 million euros at Arsenal annually. At Arsenal annually, 10.4 million euros. Now, the big question is, can Barcelona match that? Is Thomas Partey going to take a pay cut at Barcelona to go to Barcelona? Or is Thomas Partey and Barcelona going to negotiate in such a way that Barcelona can meet him halfway and pay exactly what he's getting at Arsenal? That is some of the questions that has to do with his move to Barcelona. But clearly, the coach is interested in the player, and I don't see anything wrong with this particular move. I think this particular move could be really, really good for Thomas Partey. At least winning a trophy, a major trophy. That's what we have been crying for, because Arsenal is not giving the player that. With Barcelona, you are rest assured. Looking at the squad right now, you are rest assured that the La Liga would be within reach. You are rest assured that definitely the UCL could be within reach. So for me, the decision lies in the hands of the player. But if I were to advise him, if Arsenal are not meeting your condition, Thomas Partey, play 2 years at Barcelona and go to Saudi Arabia. Just 2 years at Barcelona, win the trophies you want to win and better your CV, then you can go to Saudi Arabia. That is the advice I'm going to give to Thomas Partey. But then, guys, this is the update concerning Thomas Partey and his move to Barcelona. Negotiations are ongoing, and this is coming from the Sun. And I hope I helped you with your answers. Do you think Thomas Partey should sign for Barcelona come next season? Let me know your answers down below in the comments. Now, Guys, moving away from Thomas Partey, let's talk about this video you see live here on your screen. This is just my last one for today's video. Let me give you a bit of context to what is happening in the video. This was a game between Nations FC and Barcelona Holy Stars in the Ghana Premier League. Now, this is what happened in the game and why the match was called off. At the Amping AAK Sports Arena, Nations FC called off their match against Barcelona Holy Stars because Nations FC's players were unhappy with the officiating after Barcelona Holy Stars were awarded a second penalty. Now, before the visiting team exited the pitch in the 44th minute, Barcelona Holy Stars were already leading 1-0, which they scored through a penalty. And this is the reason why this video looks too chaotic. They are fighting and everything. And I keep on asking myself, if these players, these officials, these team owners do not learn, this same thing happened between Kotoko and Isantrumai, and currently Isantrumai is not even in the Ghana Premier League. It's like they have already forgotten. They are doing exactly the same thing, fighting on the pitch in a top flight league here in the country. This is sad. This is sad in the day and age we are in. That Ghana Premier League, like this, you'll be having officiating issues to the extent that people come on stage. Look, just look at what is happening. This is really sad. Guys, if you have anything to say about this, let me know it down below in the comments. I've already given you context to the reason why Nations FC called off the match, because they felt like the officiating was not going their way. 2 penalties to Barcelona Holy Stars. And this happened today. I don't want to talk about it too much. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Thanks for joining me. My name is Sedem. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go vibe.